Prisoner who escaped police custody while being treated at hospital recaptured. The prisoner who escaped police custody on Tuesday, April 29, while being treated at hospital in the corporate area is now back in custody. The escapee, 29-year-old Garfield Dias, otherwise called Camphor Ball, of St. Paul Lane, Kingston 11, was captured by the Kingston Western Police in downtown Kingston. Reports from the St. Andrews South Police showed that about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, Dias fled custody while being treated at the hospital in the corporate area. He is charged with occasioning grievous bodily harm. Man killed in alleged shootout with police in Old Harbor. A man was on Wednesday fatally shot in an alleged confrontation with cops from the Old Harbor Police in St. Catherine. He has since been identified as Jordan Kennedy. Reports were that about 9:30 a.m., a police team on patrol along the Budleys Main Road signaled the driver of a silver Toyota Belmont motor vehicle to stop. The driver complied but jumped from the vehicle and fled, leaving Kennedy in the front passenger seat. On the approach of the police, Kennedy reportedly brandished a handgun and opened fire. The fire was returned by the police and he was hit. When the shooting subsided, a Glock 9mm pistol affixed with a magazine containing 3 rounds of 9mm cartridges was retrieved from Kennedy, according to the police. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing the incident. Refrain from intruding on duties of judges. Attorney suggests Parliament overstep in its recent amendments to crime bills. Attorney at law Bert Samuels has suggested that Parliament is overstepping in relation to the separation of powers. His comments followed the passage of several amendments to crime-related bills in the lower house early this week. Among the measures approved is the increase in the mandatory minimum sentence for capital murder before being eligible for parole. It moved from 20 to 50 years. Speaking with reporters, Mr. Samuels said parliamentarians should refrain from intruding in the duties of a judge.
We used to have a parliament that passed laws that deals with the maximum sentence for citizens. And we used to leave it up to judges to impose the appropriate sentence based on the cases that are before them. So Minister Chuck, as I've said, sounded like a judge. Judges are supposed to look at the community, what the community needs, the gravity of the offense, the effect on the victims, and impose sentences. What we have is that one side of the three parts of government is coming into it. So I ask that the Parliament stays in its lane and allows judges to pass sentences rather than trying to set sentences and tie in the hands of our judges who are qualified, experienced, and who are expected to impose sentences without fetter from the executive or the legislature.
Opposition calls for details on political ombudsman appointment. Opposition spokesperson on justice, Senator Dana Scott-Motley, says the Electoral Commission of Jamaica (ECJ) needs to provide information on the individual it has appointed to take on the function of the political ombudsman and let the public know how they can engage with this office. Scott-Motley described the announcement of the appointment as perplexing and troubling. To date, there has been no clear or transparent communication to Parliament or the public about who this individual is, what authority they possess, or how the investigative process is being conducted under the new arrangement, she said in a statement on Thursday. While the Minister, Justice Minister Delroy now suggests someone is in place, our understanding is that no such information appointment has been made until very recently of it all, Scott-Motley continued. News of the appointment was disclosed on Thursday by Justice Minister Delroy. With this new development, I am now urging the ECJ to provide details surrounding the terms and engagement of the individual now functioning in the role previously held by the political ombudsman, as well as how members of the public can contact that office with election-related matters. The opposition spokesperson raised concern about how the ECJ has been handling the functions of the political ombudsman, which were subsumed into the entity more than a year ago. The ECJ may be receiving complaints, but no one can say with confidence what investigatory body framework exists, what standards are being applied, or whether complainants, including ourselves, can expect any resolution. We have submitted evidence, including visual material, regarding breaches, and yet nothing has come out of it. The lack of clarity, the absence of accountability, and the disregard for due process only serve to erode public trust, Katamoto argued. She asserted that Jamaica deserved better in terms of fairness and oversight in its electoral process. We therefore call on the ECJ to immediately clarify the terms of engagement of this so-called field officer and to publish details on how members of the public can reliably and confidently engage with this office. Justice and democracy demands no less. Jamaica said losing billions to illicit trade in cigarette alcohol. The local cigarette and liquor markets have been hit hard financially and otherwise by counterfeits and illicit trading, prompting stakeholders in those industries to appeal for greater vigilance and stronger enforcement of legislation. Statistics provided by the Jamaica Chambers of Commerce (JCC) President Philip Ramson show that the illicit trade in alcohol takes away about $1 billion and $2 billion in the tax revenue from the country each year. At the same time, the illicit trade in cigarettes funnel between $1.6 billion and $2 billion in revenue into the wrong hands. Head of the Caritas Limited said that research focusing on tobacco industry in Jamaica shows that 1 in every 3 cigarettes consumed comes from an illicit source. According to the head chairperson, businesses have a big responsibility to ensure that they have adequate stock and that they service the market and meet demand to prevent gaps being created for people in the illicit trade to creep in. 1 in every 3 cigarettes consumed, that is huge. We're talking about the organized crime implications, the loss of government revenue, but also the impact that it has on consumers who gravitate towards these cheap offers that are widely available in the market, he told reporters on Wednesday at the Illicit Trade Forum at AC Martin Hotel in St. Andrew Stage by the JCC. He said that the illicit trading has been growing across the island, but pinpointed St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, Clarendon and Manchester as the parishes flooded with illegal imported goods. They have their highest incidence of illicit brands. We have seen a sophistication of these brands. They went from 7 brands to 17 brands. They are available in the market and highly recognized by consumers. Unfortunately, they have also managed to trick retailers to believe these brands are legal, he noted. They use certain elements of the law in the packaging, for example, in their communication and advertisement, and they go to the retailers to tell them that it is a legal brand because it has health warning that required by law, but they don't have everything. For example, manufacturing date, he noted. Those are very technical issues that everyone knows about. We have seen a growth of that. We have seen consumers also demanding cheaper options. We have also adapted to that. There is a legitimate demand for consumers, he added. We ourselves cannot do it commercially. The Jamaica Customs Agency and the Jamaica Constabulary Force have done a fantastic job so far with seizures last year and this year, which have impacted our business directly. I think that more collaboration, stricter penalty is the first step. This is a very good forum to start this network, to raise awareness in society, and to ensure enforcement agencies are well funded and that penalties are there, he noted. Another panelist, Christopher Gentles of Spirit Pool Association, praised the JCC for putting on the seminar, as according to him, Jamaica has a huge challenge with illicit alcohol. He shared that the category of liquor that is most pervasive, misrepresented, is white overproof rum because most Jamaicans love a touch of the popular product. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.